no medicinal. Your whole game made up niggas fictional. How much a nigga making, your bitch you know. Try to run down, the switch will blow. We are stepping out into the light, into the night. Hey, what's up, man? Rich Kid Kevin, high class individuals. I got my co-host
Q Franco.
Hey, I got returning guest, my boy D Coria in the black,
sir.
and my boy Sice.
What up?
Returning guest. Hey, but we got a new guest all the way from Arkansas, man. Cash Money is the Army. Better get the Navy. I kidnap your lady and kill your baby. Hey. Anyway, man, we got my boy Sarge in the building.
Sarge, you gotta do that for him. You
go,
gotta do that for him. Everybody give him a salute. Sarge, we here.
Salute me or shoot me. Hey, so we gonna get right into this real quick, man. So Sarge, growing up, what did you see in life, man? What made you get to the point of life to where you are at right now, man? When did the Navy come about?
Growing up, I got a military background. My mom's, my dad, my stepdad all served in the Army growing up. I was born in Georgia, actually, Stockbridge. My mom was stationed out at Fort McPherson at the time.
The way you said Fort sound like you from Georgia, but go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, she was stationed out at Fort McPherson. It's Tyler Perry Studios now, if y'all know that shit. But she was stationed out of there at the time. So I came up. I'm the third of four, you know what I'm saying? I'm the middle child of four kids. We moved out when she went to South Korea. I moved with my grandma in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. That's where I call home. That's where I got my bones at, you know, country boy.
The Bluff.
The Bluff, man. Hey, shout out to UAPB. But coming up there, you know, it was slow living, man. It wasn't too much. You know, we had our family drama just like everybody else do. You know, I bounced back and forth due to my parents' military service. So I did high school in Jacksonville, Florida, at Reebok High with my aunt and uncle, who both were in the Navy. And they were a big inspiration on me because as a teen, being that old, seeing how they retired and how they parlayed their success into the life that they have coming from the military, that was a big influence on me. So coming up, I graduated. I was salutatorian in my class. I played ball, all that good shit. But I had a baby when I was 19. So from there, I was like, man, how I'm going to get some money? I was going to school at University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. So I was doing great in school, but I was broke, you know what I'm saying? I had all these opportunities, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to join the military. I'm going to go and do that so I could take care of my girl. It wasn't for school or none of that. It was just to take care of my baby and to get out of Arkansas because, you know, I don't know how it is up here in the Chi, but our population's small as hell. So when some shit happened to somebody, you ain't even got to be in the street, you know what I'm saying? But you street adjacent at all times. For sure. So if something happened to somebody, some shit pop off, motherfucker die, you know, it's gonna hit home regardless. So a lot of that shit was happening, and one of my good friends passed away 2016. A month later, I was gone. I was like, nah, I can't do this. This shit keep getting closer and closer and closer to me and closer to my baby. I got to take care of him, so I had to get up out of there. A month later, I was gone.
Hey, listen. So this is a two-parter, and I hate interrupting you because it sounded like you were really getting ready to dive into the most important parts. First and foremost, what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna have you smirking and showing the dimples and shit. This my podcast, bro. This our podcast, bro. So don't smile no more. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna throw that to you right now. Yeah. No more smiling, no more smirking, bro. You just straight face. All right. And then number two is you was broke and you saw like somebody close to you die. So you said essentially in your head, okay, I gotta go. But for you, well,
it wasn't just that I saw somebody die. It's the environment. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I was blessed to have a family that I had to be able to get out of that environment. It's a lot of people that ain't never left Arkansas. Ain't never left our city limits from there. You know what I'm saying? I'm from West Side, Pine Bluff, the Loop. It's a lot of people who ain't never went past 13. where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I was already able to see bigger things what the world had for me. And when I was there going to school, I felt like my potential was being held back because I did everything that I needed to do to succeed. But it seemed like every day you wake up every day, it's some more bad news that you get. So you want to detach a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So I joined the Navy, got up out of there. You still get the bad news, right? But it ain't as close to you as it normally would be. It ain't, you don't have that veil. You don't have to go to work and talk about it with somebody who also is going through the same shit that you're going through. At times that could be good, but after you done it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that shit become taxing. Like, bro, I'm tired of talking about this shit.
Can I ask you a quick question?
What's up?
So, when you were seeing this stuff going on in your life, did you already have the understanding of how military life would be because of your relatives?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you knew this of the greener side.
Yeah.
And so that means it was easy for you to transition to Navy life.
I ain't gonna say it was easy. I ain't gonna say it was easy to transition, but I went in with a semi-understanding because the regime that I learned from them old heads, they served in the 80s, 90s, you know what I'm saying? That's when they served. When I joined the military, we had a black president. Shit was different.
Shit was different, yeah.
Different how?
In a lot of ways, for example, we was having a conversation the other night on the phone talking about how this new generation is smarter. That happens every 5, 6, 7 years. You know what I'm saying? I can't be treated like my mom's and my dad was treated. You ain't just, I don't give a fuck what your rank is.
Can't blindfold me now.
Yeah, you can't blindfold me. I'm gonna always have a question for you. You ain't gonna come to me with a task and I'll be like, hey, okay, yes sir. Nah, why? That shit dumb. I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can bite you in the ass. Sometimes it can help you. You get a better understanding about what it is that what you have going on. It's like don't ask, don't tell. That shit wasn't a part of the Navy, part of the military when I came in.
Which was a big part for many
For
decades.
It was
Because
it was
I was born into the military, so
Yeah.
I was in from the '90s early, and we had it's a standard of living you have.
Yep.
On those bases.
Yep.
Even if you're not in the military.
Yep.
You held to a different standard.
Yep.
And the stuff you don't really do that civilians can do.
Yeah.
You know, or talk about. So, yeah, it's
like,
definitely now it's different. Where it's like
my wife and kids have to live under a different veil than
Right.
their peers and their friends
Automatically.
have to live under because of my service. It's certain shit that they can't do. My wife can't go. My wife ain't no Trump supporter, but she can't go and comment on a post. You know what I'm saying? Because that can link back to me. You know what I'm saying? That's just one of the many things that you get handcuffed with. That's one of the sacrifices she got to make being a military spouse. You know what I'm saying? But it was vastly different. Like I came in with some game and had to maneuver a little bit of shit. But when I didn't know, the shit that made the trials easier, I had people that I could call that wasn't a part of my command that's gonna give it to me real how I need to hear it and not try to hinder me because either they don't like me or not try to prop me up because they fuck with me. I was gonna get an unbiased opinion about how I need to move further in my career. My uncle gonna tell me, hey, you on some bullshit. You need to do this. He gonna tell it to me straight. He gonna give me that game because he want to see me succeed, but he not gonna bite his tongue when I'm fucking up. So I had that advantage. Like I went to college, like I said, most people ask me, why didn't you become an officer? Why did you join on the enlisted side? Because I already seen what that dedication is. I already got a child. I got a wife. I'm not finna go out here and sacrifice all this time away from them when I could be an enlisted, work my way up, get this money, and then maximize my time at home. It's different responsibilities that you have depending upon the route that you go. So I had that type of game, and that's the shit that made it easier for me.
Hey, look, bro, let's talk ins and outs, and I'm sorry for jumping in so abrasively. You know what I'm saying? I would love everybody else to have questions, but as you're speaking, the questions are just flowing. So let's talk ins and outs. Let's talk black and white. So let me break it down for you. Ins and outs. Your parents have done this, right?
Yep.
That you would essentially you would be an outsider looking in because yes, you were with them, but you weren't in service.
Correct.
You weren't active. So ins and outs. Now you're active. So let's talk about ins and outs, the pros, the cons, right? From your perspective, if you can, and if that's not comfortable, that's cool. Let's also talk black and white. And black and white is literally black and white. What does black look like there? What does white look like there? Or anybody else that's there? Like, what do these things look like? So ins and outs, we can start there.
Okay, ins and outs. So you like you said, one of the benefits of being an outsider coming up is that I saw how it affected outsiders. So I can make my decisions about how I want to go through my career with the flexibility we have today in the military, no matter what branch you are in. The flexibility that you have, if you know how to work it, you can minimize the pain that your family is going to feel from this shit.
So teach them how to maximize. I'm sorry.
It's going to happen. So be on time with your shit, honestly. Simple as that.
No CP time, huh?
Be on time with your shit. Whatever you got going on. Let's say you up for orders. What is
the order?
Your orders are where you're going to be stationed next, right? You get to pick. I don't care what branch you in. You get to pick what duty that you want to do for your next contract. If you decide to continue, you're going to start that process 18 months out. 18 months out.
You go to school for that. They
They
send you to school.
Well,
training.
You go to training. You go to training in the very, very beginning, right?
For
very,
your certain job.
Yep, very, very beginning of your military career, right? And everything, we have all this information at our fingertips at all times. If a person wants to join the military, Google what it is that any information that you need to know. You can figure out how much you're gonna get fucking paid for the next year.
Hold on. What did you get a sign-in bonus?
Did I get one?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get a sign-in bonus, but I have had a re-enlistment bonus. Now the bonuses, the way they work, it fluctuates depending upon the time of year and the enlistment rate that we have at the certain time. For example, I'm in the Navy. It's based upon race. I'm a fire controlman, which means I'm an electronics technician for missile systems and weapons defense systems on fucking ships. So I have a highly specialized job, right, in the Navy. I have a highly specialized job. My job offers certifications and qualifications that translate very, very well into the civilian world. So our retention rate is low. I'm gonna do my first contract. I'm gonna finesse y'all for all this education. Then I'm gonna go make $150,000 a year at Raytheon if I want. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do that. It's low. So they have to continuously push FCs into the Navy. And it's harder to push us into the Navy because your ASVAB score got to be through the fucking roof. It depends on who you are as a person and what you have, honestly. For me, the pros and cons are the benefits that my family get to. The pros are the benefits that my family get to enjoy, right? So my daughter, after school programs, preference for scholarship, educational benefits, the medical is invaluable. Stuff like that, and the amount of time I get off every year. People don't talk about that. That's one of the biggest. I got 60 days of leave on the books that I could take whenever I want. I'm on leave right now. I've been on leave since April the 10th. So it's like the benefits package that you get in the military to make sure that you and yours are good is unrivaled. I haven't applied for a job. I haven't seen anywhere else that rivals what it does. It gives you perspective. While you're serving, the military is a melting pot. You're going to meet so many people. Like I'm here in Chicago for no reason other than work talking to y'all. I'm from Arkansas. You're going to get so many experiences from so many people and learn so much game from so many people. And it's going to let you figure out who the fuck you really are. I don't care what your age is when you join. Because most of us come up in these communities, be boxed in, and never see another different perspective because the dude who live next door to you go to the same church as you. Dude across the street from you go to the same school as you. All y'all talk together. All y'all know the same shit. Y'all ain't learning nothing new. Mm-hmm. But if I meet a black dude from Oakland, he could put me on some game about some Black Panther shit that I ain't never get when I was a kid in Arkansas. If I meet a white dude from New York, he can put me on some Italian cuisine that I could take back to my old lady, and you know what I'm saying?
Knock her socks off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That is, for me personally, that is one of the biggest benefits. Learning what the world looks like to other people. You know what I'm saying? I've been to over 20 countries. I've learned different cultures. I've taken from them. I've taken some of their values. I've taken some of their morals and added them to my own life to try to make myself a better man in my regular life outside of the military. Now, those are the biggest pros. Everything else is subjective. Whatever you like, you like. But the cons, if you are one of those people that have an issue with authority, don't join the military. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, because it's a stressful environment initially. Regardless, coming out the gate, it's a stressful environment, and it's made like that to make you mentally strong. And a lot of people don't understand that, but it does get overbearing. The workload is a lot when you are at work, and the structure of the ranks is anger inducing. It is anger inducing, because it doesn't matter how long you've been. It doesn't matter what your rank is. Just because you were E7, you were just being in long enough to make E7. That don't mean you fucking competent. That don't mean you good at your job. You just being in 20 years.
So seniority trumps.
It trumps all.
So I want to go back to this signing bonus. And the reason being is, I see my boy Corey here smirk. You see them kind of pitch that into the urban communities. I always see them like in high schools, going to like urban communities, and they will always mention this like a $20,000 signing bonus. And matter of fact, it was like memes, like you gonna come out with $20,000 in the Dodge Challenger or a Mustang. Why do you think that they target the urban community? Are they targeting the white community?
So let's go
Black and white.
Answer your question with the black and white as well. So yeah, they most definitely are. So I'm gonna tell you how, before I get to the bonus part of it, I'll tell you how the recruiting works. So when, depending upon your rate or your job, you will apply to be a recruiter. Nobody's going to force you to be a recruiter. After your first contract, if you want to be a recruiter, you're gonna apply to do it. The stipulations are, you have, depending upon the demographic and the population of the area that you're recruiting in, you have a quota of people that you have to put in the military every month. If you don't hit that quota 3 times out of your entire contract, they're sending you back to the fleet, back to battalion, whatever service you are in. They sending you back. You going back on deployment. This ain't for you.
Basically, back to the field for people who don't know your turn. Okay.
Yep, back to the field. You not good at this. We sending you back, right? So those people, this is their time to get R&R from the shit that they did on their previous contract. So they're gonna do anything to make sure that their family is gonna have that time with them for that 4 years, to make sure that they ain't got to go back on those 9-month deployment, to make sure they ain't got to do no underways, none of that. So they going to do whatever they need to do to get those bodies into the MEP station.
Like a car salesman.
Yeah, like a car salesman. So the targeting part, majority of our communities, majority of the black communities, we get low test scores, right? So you asked the question, you said your homeboy said something about black people being cooks in the military. The reason why that was a thing is because that was the most available jobs for the test scores that these people would get. You would score low, we just gonna send you the supply. We're gonna send you to the kitchen or whatever, right? That's what they would do. It's easier to get your numbers up there because you can sell these people a dream, because like I said earlier, most of these people haven't had the opportunity to see what's available for them. They haven't had the opportunity to see outside of their neighborhood. And some people just want to get out. So I'm going to sell you that free education and not tell you that if you have a kid and you want your kid to get that free education, you got to commit 10 years to do it. If I'm going to sell you that Hellcat, not telling you that, yeah, you might get this $20,000 signing bonus. You're going to put that down on your car, but you only going to make $800 every 2 weeks for the first 2 years of your career.
So that was something that when you said your job has a high, like security clearance, or it's a very high level job, based on your whatever your rank is, the pay does it change?
Nope, it doesn't change.
That's what-
only,
yeah.
only you do get incentive pays for certain things. You do get incentive pays for certain things like hazard pay. So if I'm over in the Middle East during wartime, they'll give me hazard pay depending upon my job. If I'm out there in the field, I might get that extra $400 a month. If I got a family and I'm detached from my family for more than 29 days, I get family separation. That's $250.
$250 what?
A month. The extra $250 on your check a month.
Being away from your family.
Hold on.
Keep
hold
going.
on.
But that plus other things is they
No,
add
no,
up
for sure.
as you start adding those things
They
up.
stack on top of each
They
other. That's
stack,
why they
yeah.
can't give you that huge lump sum.
Right.
Depending on what you're doing.
Yeah,
though.
You might get
depending-
4 different bonuses based
Not necessarily though. Hazard pay is one thing if you in the field.
Yeah.
But you could. That doesn't mean. Correct me if I'm wrong. You could be getting hazard pay, and be away from your family and get.
You gonna get
of
both.
those, but you can get.
You can get one or the other too. Depending upon what your command's mission is. That just has nothing to do with your job. Most of the time, those incentive pays depending upon whether you have dependents and your command mission. If your command is back in home port and you ain't got no kids, you getting that base E5 pay or that base E4 pay. That's what you getting. You're not getting nothing extra, right? So when I say the pay, the pay doesn't depend on your job, I mean that. Your bonus is going to depend on your job, right? Your bonus will, but your actual base pay, the shit that you're going to be bringing in, month out, that's going to stay the same no matter.
just rank.
Yep,
Like
just
E1,
rank.
E2, E3.
Yep, and that's where it comes to knowing the system and knowing what it is that you need to do and knowing what it is that you can do to stretch your dollar in the military.
Cool. So, you definitely giving game. I would like to jump just a little bit deeper for somebody who really is thinking about doing this. Let's talk about I don't want to call it tricks, but let's talk about the way recruiters could potentially come and talk to somebody that's youthful in high school, and this person in high school doesn't really know life yet. And you broke some of that down with the Hellcat situation. But let's talk about if they're going to tell you how much you're making when you get there, this Hellcat, and you trying to help your family, essentially you could see yourself being down bad financially. Let's talk about credit though. So you enlist and the money's being allocated. Your money is being allocated to your kids. This Hellcat you want, and you can't afford it. Now your credit is dropping. What does that look like as far as being in the military? Does the military frown upon credit scores drop? Like, talk to us.
I got you. That's a good question. So everybody who joins the military has to apply for a secret security clearance, right? I know it sounds fancy, but it's not even. It's just down here for a security clearance. You have to apply for a secret security clearance. Your credit score affects that security clearance. If your credit score drops below 610, they're going to do a RFI, which is a request for information. You're going to have to show them your bank statements for everything that you paying, for everything that you buying. You're going to have to show them your payment history on these debts that you have incurred, all types of other shit. Whatever they ask for, you have to give it to them, right? If you go so long with not paying that debt off, you'll lose your security clearance. Why, Sarge? Because you being in debt makes you a liability when it comes to information in the military. If I am a foreign national, right, and I know that you are $50,000 in debt, but you only make $32,000 a year, because I can Google, all I need to know is your pay grade, and I can Google how much you make, right? So if I only know you $50,000 in debt and you only make $32,000 a year, I can use you. Hey man, you got 3 kids, bro. You struggling. You ain't even living check to check. So what is it? What can I get out of you for this $50,000? I pay off your debt. What type of information are you gonna give me? You know what I'm saying? that makes you a liability to national security, right? So scrap your security clearance. We ain't even gonna let you get that far. We gonna take your security clearance. Now you out of here. You down on your dick. Now we kicking you out.
Out of here means out of the
Navy.
service for
They
sure.
kicking you out. You ain't got no security clearance. You out.
There's some whole street.
And that's a
thug
dishonorable.
shit.
And that's dishonorable discharge.
It's not a dishonorable.
No?
It's not. That will be a general because life happened to some
So you
people.
can't come back though, or can you if you get your credit scores up? Or
You can come back if
Okay.
you can
That's
come
good.
back if you
That's
get
good
a
to know.
if you get a
People.
clearance.
Yeah.
But that would be a bad time. For you just lost all your income.
So if your credit score is low,
you
can
start
get
over,
in at all?
start over again.
If your credit score is low, you can get in, but you're going to have to show why your credit score is low. You're gonna have to provide all that information. You're gonna have to talk to a CFS, which is a command financial specialist, to get all this shit right. They're going to make a program for you to get your shit right, so you don't become a liability. Now, when you don't follow that program, you just made yourself an even bigger liability because you're not listening to your command.
No question.
So when this is what I'll say for the people who are coming from low income places who are trying to join, right? If your finances are already messed up, right? Or if you coming from a place where you trying to get out and you trying to be on the come up, when you join the military, you ain't got to pay for nothing. Nothing. Only thing that you are required to have is a cell phone bill. Everything else is gonna be paid for. If you got kids, they're gonna give you what is called BAS, which is your basic subsistence allowance. That's food for groceries. I get $500 a month for my groceries. You're gonna get BAH depending upon where you live. Depending upon where you live, your BAH is gonna be different. Here in Chicago, I get about $3,500 a month. That's just for me having a family.
BH, I know you. What is that?
Your basic housing allowance. They pay my rent. They done paid my light bills. They pay my water bills. If you don't have none of those, the command is gonna provide you for food. They're gonna cook for you. The command is gonna provide you a way to sleep. The command is gonna provide you transportation. All that other money you can just pocket. I give y'all a story about one guy that I had.
Don't do it. We gonna cut you off right there because we gonna have you come back, Sarge.
All right, I got you.
Keep that for episode number 2. Ain't no question. We salute to you. Salute to this man.
Yo.
Hey, listen, we got Koya in the building. We got Sarge in the building. We got Sice in the building. Big Kev in the building. I'm
Yo.
Q Franco. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will be back for part 2. High class individuals.
Yo.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.